The fallout of the FTX debacle is only getting worse for the whole crypto industry, now with Genesis stopping all withdrawals. Before we get into that, I want to look at some private messages between SBF and a Vox journalist. What are the traits of sociopathy? The list of common traits you might see in someone who has antisocial personality disorder, says Dr. Coulter. Not understanding the difference between right and wrong, not respecting the feelings and emotions of others, constant lying or deception, being callous, difficulty recognising emotion, manipulation, arrogance, violating the rights of others through dishonest actions, impulsiveness, risk-taking, difficulty appreciating the negative aspects of their behaviour. I was trying to figure out if that was some kind of PR off-the-cuff answer. Man, all this dumb shit I said, it's not true. Not really. Yeah, I thought that might not be. Everyone goes around pretending that perception reflects reality. It doesn't. Some of this decade's greatest heroes will never be known, and some of its most beloved people are basically shams. So, you kind of don't believe in, doing unethical shit, as everything other than a judgment we bestow upon the losers? A month ago, CZ was a walking example of don't do unethical shit or your money is worthless. Now, he's a hero. Is it because he's virtuous or because he had a bigger balance sheet and so he won? Well, I can see why you didn't give that answer in interviews. So, the ethics stuff, mostly up front. People will like you if you win and hate you if you lose, and that's how it all really works. Yeah, I mean that's not all of it, but it's a lot. The worst quadrant is sketchy plus lose. The best is win and question. Clean and lose is bad but not terrible. You were really good at talking about ethics for someone who kind of saw it all as a game with winners and losers. Yeah, hee. I had to be. It's what reputations are made of, to some extent. I feel bad for those who get fucked by it. By this dumb game we woke Westerners play, where we say all the right shitballiths, and so everyone likes us. You tweeted out some stuff like, we never invest your deposits. That was BS, right? It was factually accurate. Huh? But their deposits were totally not there. Or do you just mean technically it was Alameda? FTX, correct. So, FTX technically wasn't gambling with their money. FTX had just loaned their money to Alameda, who had gambled with their money, and lost it. And you didn't realise it was a big deal because you didn't realise how much money it was, and also thought Alameda had enough collateral to reasonably cover it. I get how you could have gotten away with it, but I guess that seems sketchy even if you get away with it. It was never the intention. Sometimes life creeps up on you. Absolute diabolical. The arrogance of this man is absolutely crazy. How many lives has he ruined? Right, let's have a look at Genesis now. For those who aren't familiar, Genesis started as the first OTC Bitcoin desk in 2013. They're now crypto's largest lending desk. Genesis is part of DCG, Barry Silbert's holding company that owns CoinDesk, Foundry, Genesis, Grayscale and Luno. DCG also runs a huge VC firm. At the height of the market, Genesis was moving size. Check out these Q4 2021 numbers. $50 billion in loan originations, $12.5 billion active loans, $31 billion spot volume traded, $21 billion derivatives traded. Then 3AC happened. Genesis was the biggest creditor to 3AC, having lent them a whopping $2.4 billion. Genesis then filed a $1.2 billion claim against 3AC. DCG, parent company, stepped in and assumed $1.2 billion claim, leaving Genesis with no outstanding liabilities tied to 3AC. But then things continued to unravel. Genesis also had large exposure to Babel Finance, the CeFi platform that got hit hard in the June unwind. In August, longtime CEO Michael Morrow resigned. nearly everyone I know who was at Genesis is no longer there. By Q3 2022, their numbers had fallen drastically. $8.4 billion in loan originations, $2.8 billion active loans, $18.7 billion spot volume traded, $9.6 billion derivatives traded. Still, everyone felt like they were crypto's safest counterparty. So why is the downfall of Genesis so bad? Dozens of companies like Gemini use Genesis to help their customers earn yield. If you're a CeFi platform that offers yield, you probably use Genesis. Using some rough numbers and simplifying the process a bit, here's how it works. You give your crypto to Gemini, Gemini gives your crypto to Genesis, Genesis lends your crypto to a fund, the fund borrows from Genesis X plus 2%, Genesis gives Gemini X plus 1%, Gemini gives you X%. Voila, you now earn yield. But this only works if the counterparties that Genesis lend to can actually repay their borrow. If Genesis can't get their crypto back, they can't give the crypto back to Gemini or insert any other crypto CeFi platform, which means Gemini can't give you your crypto. Beyond that, nearly every whale I know that plays in crypto gives money to Genesis. Instead of earning yield on the BlockFis and Geminis of the world, they give directly to Genesis to earn yield. Now, those institutions, family offices and whales can't get their crypto back. And this is why Genesis halting withdrawals is so bad. They sit at the direct centre of crypto capital markets. They custody funds, they help institutions earn yield. They are the yield product for CeFi platforms. It's not good. Where do we go from here? Hopefully DCG has the funds to backstop this. I would assume they don't, and they're racing to raise money right now. They raised at $10 billion in November 2021. I guess they raise at a valuation roughly 10 to 20% of that. Stay safe out there. If you have funds on a CeFi platform, think about going to cold storage using Ledger. If you really don't want to go to cold storage, use Coinbase. Long live DeFi.